Hi everyone. I think this is filming. I'm gonna have to settle this camera down, but I wanted to, it's been a while since I filmed, and mostly that's been due to things I couldn't help. We had Storm Sandy here, and then we had a nor'easter, and unfortunately that cut Brain Matters fundraising a little short. So you can see that since the last time I filmed, it's changed the territory and the landscape. There were leaves on the trees, and now there are very few. We've had Thanksgiving, and now we're starting towards the holidays. So I had mentioned that I was going to read one of my last blogs. Don't know how many people were waiting for that, but I feel it is sort of the last of the three things. Let me just, that I was, well, let's see where I want to put this. I don't know where I'll put this. Let's see. It's part of my, I could try putting it there. And a little dark, but not sure if it matters. And it's unfortunate that it cut the fundraiser to a close, because those last few days were important. But there are so many people out here that lost a lot more than that. And there'll be another fundraiser if you stay tuned to the site. In the next few months, I'll probably have I'll have another one around springtime, maybe around Valentine's Day, or perhaps as we turn the clocks, as we turn the clocks. But I will read my final life-changing blog so that I can post that, and then I can also post the thank yous to the people that did donate, and thank you so much to those people. So this is my final vlog, and I actually don't know if I need my glasses for this, but it's called Set Peace of Mind as Your Highest Goal and Organize Your Life Around It. And I wrote this after I came back from my final or my most recent MRI up at Mass General Hospital. So if you want to read it, you can read it online, and I hope I can read it now. I was just at Mass General for my annual checkup, and after what has been a tumultuous couple of months filled with speculation that an ear infection that may have been something much worse, I found out I had no tumor growth since last year. This is great news for me. This is news my husband and I hope to hear as we get our things together, leave our instructions for our pets, tell our kids what to do, and hit the road for a 4-hour ride up to Boston. I then have my MRI. While I have this MRI, I'm wondering while I'm listening to that jackhammering sound going on in the ear, I can still hear it. I'm wondering what's going on inside my head. I'm wondering because I can't see the inside of my head. So many times I've wished I could just see myself for what was going on in my head. I feel I'm familiar enough after all these years that I have a good idea where to look at this point. It would give me a feeling of to know in between checkups and nothing had changed. The fact that I haven't been feeling well lately has raised my proverbial bar. The reality of my life is I don't feel great all the time, but who does, right? At this point, after so many years of dealing with my health, I can't remember what I felt like before my brain tumor. And now I'm also getting older. But it's better to look good than to feel good, right? So I know that's having an impact on how perfect I'm feeling. But I said in an individual year, what might be simple, this or that, examined by a regular doctor who's not familiar with what's considered to be a rare tumor, can really raise that worry bar. The regular doctor suggested what I had, given the radiation I've received, the infection he saw, might be cancer of the bone in my ear. This evaluation did have sense-worthiness, was very close to the bone my tumor is in. It was near where I had radiation, and he said it was unlike anything he'd ever seen before. I'm losing track of how many times I've heard this said to me. This doesn't bring calm and peacefulness. He prescribed intense oral antibiotics for a month and similar eardrops for the same length of time. He then went on to say if that didn't work, the next step would be intravenous antibiotics, perhaps a hyperbaric chamber, and all of these methods were if I was just fortunate enough to have an intense infection and not cancer. He wasn't very positive about my outcome if cancer were to be in the bone. I was trying to see the bright side, but it was seeming very cloudy. I finished my antibiotics, and then it was time for that MRI up at Mass General to see what was going on in there. Sorry for my stammering. You can see how I might be thinking things like, I don't know where I'm going to find this inner strength. It feels not that long ago since I've traveled down this same road. Then the day came, the day that has come every year since I've completed proton radiation therapy. I was given the good news, the best news I can hope for, and I felt that amazing feeling of freedom, or safety, or calm. Oh, how I wish I could bottle that feeling. It doesn't feel better to me than after I leave my doctor's office knowing that he has just looked inside my head and there is nothing different. I wish I could keep the same feeling so that 7 months from now, when my eyesight feels a bit off, I have the confidence to know that nothing is different. But I haven't been able to hang on to this feeling. I've lived so long on this lucky, rocky boat that it's difficult to believe that come next time, maybe it won't be able to be kept from tipping over. Maybe if I could just not go every year. Maybe there'll be a time that I'll outgrow these visits. Maybe there'll be a time that I'll be considered safe for me not to come and be checked, especially since at this point, should something additional be found, there's not all that much that can be done anyway. I asked my doctor when I could stop coming, and he said, we're going to grow old together. We're not that far apart in age, so I guess I hope that we both do grow old together. I also guess I hope that as time progresses, that should there ever be a time I need anything additional, that advances will have been made that don't exist at this time. The fact is, that's the reason I'm in the shape I'm in today. I would not be writing, talking, walking, if the numerous number of surgeries suggested by some surgeons in order to totally remove the tumor I had been what I had decided to choose. Definitely not. There were many other surgeons that said my tumor could not be totally removed. There is still that part of me that does get concerned about all else my head has been through. To do this writing, this talking, this lot of talking you're listening to, if you're still listening, and walking that I was able to do. It feels this way when people say things like, I would never have radiation. Radiation is not one chooses like a day at the spa. It's what one has when it's needed to keep on living a life. I'm very glad proton radiation was a choice for me. So, I was out walking today. Of course, this was back then, thinking about my first year anniversary since I took off for my walk to raise awareness for the need for more research and funding for brain tumors last year. I'm about to do another fundraiser, this time online. Of course, this was back then. I was thinking about how amazing I felt on the walk. Yes, I felt physically exhausted on some days, and yes, I felt concerned that the plans I made about where I was supposed to stay, or who I was supposed to meet up with, or where I was supposed to speak weren't going to happen the day I had hoped, but I felt great. I was trying to figure out why I felt this great. I know it was a physical accomplishment, but I felt emotionally calm. I felt the way I feel when I leave my doctor's office right after he tells me everything is okay. That's my dog. I kept thinking as I was walking today, why? If I could figure it out, I could carry it with me throughout the year. I think I figured it out. The walk was focused. It was about the day. It was just about what I needed to do on that day. I've always liked feeling like I can make things happen. My health is only within a certain amount of my own power, and then that's it. I can't fix me. I can only do so much. I may very well have done all I can, and on bad days when I'm feeling like I'm not doing so well, that makes me feel like I may not have fought hard enough, may not have searched wide enough, may not have been smart enough. My calm in my doctor's office comes from feeling I'm still on the winning side. Sorry. My calm on the walk comes from feeling that everything that I'm dealing with is within my power. And if there were things that weren't, like a storm, or a car was to hit me, or something didn't work out, then that's just the way it was meant to be. I also think that not knowing what might be ahead of me is relaxing. The fact that I've been really sick and know what that's about, I can't seem to find a way to get that out of my mind. But this is what I finally understood as I was walking today. Well then, and thinking about it. It will not make me any better thinking about it. It will rob me of the calm I felt at Mass General Hospital a few days ago. Focus on the day and what you can change. Put your energy there. I'm going to try very hard to break what has almost been a habit. I've done many things. I believe I can do this. And I hope you can too. And that was my life-changing thought. Bye. And I hope that this has been helpful to you, and you have been helpful to me donating to the cause. And I hope that you will continue to check out Brain Matters. Bye-bye.